Alright, we're back with some more Higurashi last time. A little more just daily life with Hanyu. Think she stayed around 3 or 4 months at the Furude Shrine. And coming to terms that she really enjoys her life there and probably has feelings for Riku. But to ruin it, uh Ryu is that how you say the thing? Whatever. That she was informed that a bunch of Griffies were attacking, like a massive amount, to the point where it's unlikely she would be able to accomplish this on her own. But regardless, she went for this maybe suicide mission. So let's see if she can survive. I mean, I'm guessing she will, but let's see. I cut down one of the Griffies standing in my way after a few slashes and broke through a section of the encirclement. They flinched for several beats at that force, giving me a chance to throw myself into the shadow of a collapsed house, move quickly under their noses, and finally catch my breath. I got tired. First time seeing tired face for this variant of the CG. I wiped my clammy forehead with my palm. I felt a slimy sensation and a sharp pain running through my temple. It seemed I'd suffered a minor wound to my head. I took out some ointment from the medicine bag at my waist, rubbed it over the wound that pierced my left thigh, and wrapped a cloth around it. My clothes were already stained dark with blood and mud, and my shoulder was burning with a profound numbness. The cloak that was supposed to protect me from enemy attacks was now torn to shreds beyond recognition, its function greatly diminished. The sight was more gruesome than I predicted, no, far beyond what I had expected. The targets of this hunt were undoubtedly inhuman. They had prepared meticulously to take on a Putus and a Jedha, me. First of all, they hadn't killed all of the residents of this village, unlike anything before. Instead, they put the brutally maimed corpses on display in public, stirring up fear and confusion among the survivors. As a result, they fled in a panic, so I had to keep running around to protect them. Yep, they're plotting. I gritted my teeth as I observed the Griffey's actions from the shadows. In terms of numbers, they were probably on the same scale as the attack on Onidofuchi village 20 years ago. But everything was different. Their individual strengths, their craftiness, their brutality, and the clear presence of intelligence moving in accordance to their goals. Ryunok, that's how you say it. Uh-oh. I know it's too late to regret it, but it seems this really was too much for me to resolve on my own. At least back during the Onidofuchi incident, I had Shizen Jedha to secure the survivors' evacuation route and guide them, allowing me to focus all my effort on exterminating Griffies. How reckless and rash it was for me to think I could handle both roles on my own. Think it's that? No, I mean, I guess it couldn't be that, the Kotohogushi bridge. I think it's a little too far away. That was really close to Hinmizawa. Should have went on a fasting, because she knew a day before. Now that I was so badly injured, it would be impossible for me to turn into my astral body. Oh, okay, maybe she did fast and she just, now she can't because she's actually injured. Rush the enemy stronghold and slaughter them all in one fell swoop. In that case, all I could do was keep crushing them individually and flee before they encircled me, no matter how inefficient and dangerous it was.
竜王区数と勢いが一番低いのはその3つのうちどれだ？盗難です。まさかジェダ？そのまさかをやってやるのさ。
Crushed them. Crushed the group
周辺の紹介を任せた。状況の変化は逐一
before
教え
they
てくれ。
circle her.
戸を数えた後一気に突っ込む。行くぞ。わかりました。ご分を。ああ、それから竜王区。はい。今後私をジェダと呼ぶな。私の名は
On you!
それ以外は聞かぬ。はあ。
I kept telling Riku ever since he was a child. The one who saved your life was the goddess Oyashiro-sama. Oyashiro-sama has horns, so you may mistake her for a demon at a glance. But she's actually a compassionate and noble woman full of godlike affection. Thinking out about it now, I believe that he has wished to meet you for a long time. Rather than piety, I would say his feelings were motivated by something more akin to yearning. And he constantly envisions you as his ideal woman. Yes, even if it wasn't perfectly, I did raise him, so I can tell that he surely loves you. What? Already? This is like a freshly made one. It's a lot of wear and tear.
相場を完全解放して一気に型をつける。危険すぎます。完全解放すればあなたの自我と精神が崩壊。次元解放だ。それ以降は再び封印する。この後も生きていればな。
Shit. That's right. Up until now, I kept fighting Griffies simply to prove my existence. Defeating the Griffies was the duty entrusted to the Ryuin and the Jedha. Therefore, I wanted to definitely prove that I was a Ryuin through fighting. I didn't fight out of pity for the humans who were native to this land. Furthermore, I barely had any affection for my brethren who immigrated to this land. There's nothing to it. At the core, I was the same as the Griffies, who caused atrocities to sate their own desires. I just kept swinging my sword, never having something apart from myself that I held dear, something I wanted to protect. That's why I wouldn't have cared if I died in battle fulfilling my duty. I believe that if my death could prove my existence, then I could die satisfied. But I'm sure it's different now. Just a little longer. I wanted to live just a little longer. At least until... Survived? Oh shit, when I arrived at the Furude Shrine, it was pitch black in the dead of night. I dragged my aching body and made my way up to the stone stairs. Each step felt unsteady, and I nearly tripped many times. I smiled bitterly as I wiped my bloody mouth. A burning smell welled up from deep in my throat. I took one step at a time, rousing myself to keep my fading consciousness tethered. Better than not dying. I mean, it's better than dying.
分かっている。
Probably should have went to the Onita Fuji and just come back after.
ちょっとだけだ。
Just a peek.
ちょっと寝顔を見に行くだけだ。
I brushed aside Ryu's concerns with a smile and continued walking. I knew. I was fully aware that this was a pointless action being done solely for my own self-satisfaction. It wouldn't be too late if I waited until dawn. If I went to him after I had treated my wounds and cleaned myself off, I could achieve the same result without causing him unnecessary worry. I knew that, but even so, I wanted to see Riku as soon as possible. Those feelings allowed me to forgo rest and drag my feet forward with no other thought in mind. I carelessly tripped on the crack in the stone hidden by darkness and instinctively pushed my hands out. Sweat endlessly poured down my cheek and dripped from my jaw. Those sweat drops splashed onto the dry stone stairs. The clouds parted, illuminating my surroundings in moonlight. And thanks to that light, I finally realized that what I thought was sweat was, in fact, blood. It seems my wound had reopened again.
羽生。本当にバカだな、私は。
It was a battle to the death, fierce enough to make all of my other missions up to this point seem like mere child's play. I was covered in wounds all over, and the styptic wasn't working perfectly. I couldn't feel my limbs with strength, like they were paralyzed. It was a wonder I was even still conscious. It was to the point where I'd nearly fallen off my horse a number of times on my way back.
これでこの島国に救うあらかたのグリフィスを打ち果たせただろうか。おそらく。
Let's go.
いえ、きっとそうだ
It's
と思い
good.
ます。そんなはずがあるまい。嘘を覚えるとは。
Oh,
お前もすっかり
it's
人
not.
間のようだな。
She lied! Ow! I teased her as I turned my body halfway around and sat on the stairs to get a little rest. No, it would be more accurate to say I laid down on the steps. Then I bent my jaw slightly and looked up to find a giant moon right in front of me. A life of eternal battle and a blood-stained fate. I had desperately struggled to escape from those shackles and agony, but the moon in the sky was the same as ever. When I thought about that, even my eagerness to protect the livelihood and lives of humans of this world seemed truly meaningless.
綺麗だな。なあ、竜王君。はい。なんでだろうな。ただ恒星の光を反射しただけなのに、見ているとこんなにも心が安らぐのは。
I didn't need to hear the answer. It was obvious. When I looked at this moon, I remembered Riku for some reason. It wasn't as strong as the sun. It didn't shine and sparkle by itself either. It was simply like a mirror that shined when receiving others' light. But to me, that was. All of a sudden, I heard faint footsteps and sensed a person's presence from near the top of the staircase. Huh? Could this be? Saved! Ah, this voice, this sound, it was just as I thought. I didn't even need to turn around, but I did so anyway, in a flood of emotion. Though it was still dark out, for some reason, I could see Riku running down the staircase with a pale face.
リク、どうしてここに。
Look at that face.
いえ、 羽生の声が聞こえたような気がして。それより大丈夫ですか？ひどい怪我を。
ああ、大丈夫。この程度ならリュウンウォークの治療で十分回復できる。それより。
I gently bent forward and buried my face into Ritu's chest. So warm. His smell was so familiar. The moment I sensed all of that, all the pain and suffering I'd borne up until this point abated. I naturally smiled and relaxed, as though I were satisfied with everything.
羽生。
大丈夫だ。本当に。だから、しばらくこのまま。
はい。
It seemed Riku was still worried about my wounds, yet he still did as I said and remained rooted in place, gently wrapping his arms around my shoulders. Ah, my heart was at peace. I had survived to return to this warmth, when I thought that this brutal mission that seemed to be futile up until now gained value.
久しいな。もっとも、ほんの2週間程度だが。
2 weeks. That's probably travel time included.
ずいぶん長い時間でした。私たち人間にとってはね。
3ヶ月が短くて2週間が長いか。お前の言ってることはめちゃくちゃだ。
言い間違えました。私にとってはです。
ああ、それならわかる。
Because it was the same for me. To think going without seeing Riku's face could feel this long. It truly had gotten soft.
ほら羽生、また言葉が元に戻っています。
ああ、忘れていた。じゃない、忘れていました。これでいいですか？
ええ、最高です。よかった。本当に。
Hugged. Riku embraced me even tighter. His veins touched my cheeks and tickled me a little. It was embarrassing, but also heartwarming. And once again, I savored the feeling that I truly did love Riku.
また厄介になります、リク。
ええ、いてください。何日でも何年でも。
Days or
あなたの好
years.
きなだけここに。
Regardless of how he felt about me, regardless of whether these feelings were even permissible, I wanted to be with Riku. At least until the end of his lifespan, even though I surely couldn't tell him how I felt. Yep. Of course, our chapter break stuff is sort of messed up. But to be fair, last episode was like an hour long, so it would have been like a super long episode. It is what it is. 2 years later! That's dope. Still happily chilling. I straddled down the worn floorboards of the hallway one after another, shouting while shaking my still partially wet hair. I saw a stray cat that happened to be climbing onto the veranda jolt, with surprise and flee, but I no longer had the mind to pay it any attention. My whole body was flushed, steam rising from under my short sleeves, and my forehead matted with sweat. And it wasn't simply because I'd just gotten out of the bath.
リク、
I very forcefully opened the sliding door to the living room without bothering to knock or say anything. He's not here.
あなたは
I checked the bedroom nets. Let me guess. She was taking a bath. He stole her clothes and I put a Miko outfit as her only like clothes to change into. I checked the bedroom nets. He wasn't there either.
あなたって人は
Then the kitchen. Not there either.
出てきなさいこら
Bam, bam. I raised my voice, irritated at the frustration of not having found him right away. Damn it, he's not. He's normally around so much that it gets annoying, so why isn't he here at a time like this?
は
I looked at the floor of the front entrance to find a pair of sandals missing and the sliding door was open. I went outside and ultimately found Ritu cleaning the shrine grounds.
そこにいましたかリク
はい。
Ritu stopped sweeping his broom and looked at me when I called out to him in clear anger. And whether he noticed my rage or not, he gave me his typical gentle smile.
どうかしましたか？
I suddenly, I was thinking too deviously. I don't think that situation happened. I suddenly gasped and fell speechless at his borderline innocent kind smile. These days, looking straight at Ritu's smile would quell my anger like drawing venom from a wound. No, this was his strategy. Don't be fooled.
どうかしたなんてよくも言えたものですまたやりましたねあなたは
ん？私が何か。今日の薬はちゃんと飲みましたよ。
ああもう
Oh, that is
薬
sacred.
じゃなくて私の意思の
Oh,
ことです
maybe I'm right. Never mind. I'm sick.
風呂場の脱衣かごにあった私
God,
の違い
I am good. I was
ああ、
doubting myself. That's
どう
how
ですか？
good I am.
着心地は。昨日仕立てたばかりの。
Okay, so he's done this multiple times though. It's not his first little thingy.
そんなことはどうでもいい
No, it actually did matter, but... And did he just say he had it tailored? By who? No, forget it. That wasn't the matter at hand.
だからあなたの用意した着替えは何なんですかと聞いているのです
いえ、ですから巫女服です。巫女服。この言葉の意味は覚えましたか？
Jesus.
巫女とはつまり。
巫女の説明はもうお腹いっぱい聞きましたまた半日かけて巫女萌えの名誉な語りを繰り広げる気ですか
Mito Moe. I stomped on the stone pavement to cut off his truly unnecessary speech. But Riku simply spun his finger daringly and went tisk 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 and proudly spoke to me. That's a Mion move.
違いますよ、羽生。あなたにこの前お話ししたのは序章の前書きで巫女さんとはです。本編はその後に続く第一章。
Oh god.
巫女さんになるにはと第二章の巫女さんの美しさについて、そして第三章の
そんなもの未来英語を聞きたくも知りたくもありませんだから私の尋ねているのはそういうことじゃないと何度言ったらわかる
まだ二度目ですけど。
I swear, this Sorcerer of Words Keiichi reference always has a comeback for everything.
何を怒っているんです？
Guess he's the word magician. Sorcerer is kind of a higher praise.
これが怒らずにいられますか私にこんな服を着せておいて
And with those words, I threw off the bath sheet I had been wearing on my shoulders as a stopgap measure, and showed him the red and white Miko outfit I'd been hiding underneath. Holy shit. Look at that. Looking kind of goofy. It's pretty close to the Hanyu outfit. present time.
最初の感想がそれですか。
I rolled up my sleeves that felt like they were going to slip down while shaking my raised fist. Like, what is this? Those sleeves are like not strapped on at all, right? They're completely separate. How does that work? I liked it though. He got me. I finally fell for his dumbass plan.
とっても似合ってますよ。やっぱり見立ては間違っていませんでしたね。
だから面用な賛辞もいりません。私は巫女の衣装なんて着ないと言ったはずでしょうが。しかもなんだこれは。
When he complimented me, I was a little, seriously, just a little happy. But I mustered all my reason and shook it off. Then I drew near this great fool who was nonchalantly smiling at me without the least abashment. In the first place, had it just been the Higurashi jacket and pants, I wouldn't have really minded. I may have rejected Miko outfits at first because I was embarrassed, but even from my perspective, I thought they gave off a pure aura, and by no means did I hate them. But the problem was, this Miko outfit had been customized to the point it was a little, no, very amorous. Someone's fetishes were on full display here, and I wanted nothing to do with it. It had the red strings decorating the sleeves, but it was still fine. It was also lacking in any inner clothes of the pants, which made me feel so drafty that I was very embarrassed, but still willing to compromise. But what I couldn't forgive was how the sleeves were parted at the shoulder, showing off my upper arms. Even after all I told him about how showing skin is a disgrace for Ryuan women.
この前は大きく開いた胸元。
Jesus.
その前は股の下ギリギリの袴。
Yeah, I mean, those ones sound worse than this, to be honest.
そして今回の魔改造。私の着せ替えで遊ぶなと何度言えばわかるんですか。
遊んでなんかいませんよ。羽生がどんな巫女服なら気に入ってもらえるのかと、それはもう日ごと夜ごと悩んで考えて模索して。
むしろ余計嫌になるわ。
Jesus. I rolled the bath sheet I was holding into a ball and threw it on the ground as I began roaring in rage. Time really does fly. It'll be summer, marking 2 years since I met Riku. Though young, he works as the priest of the Fude Shrine and has a good reputation amongst the villagers. Although he's revered as Oyasho-sama's reincarnation, he is kind and gentle without letting that get to his head, and even though he's easygoing, he gets the job done. Even I have a favorable impression of his attitude. I can see why the villagers trust him.
それは認める。認めるか。
But his sudden and incongruable repeated requests for me to wear a Miku outfit, they weren't just eccentric, they were undoubtedly negated all the positive things about him. So I would reject him harshly every time, yell at him, and occasionally resort to force, brute force that is, to show him the error of his ways. But in spite of that, rather than repenting, he would keep coming up with a plan after plan to try to get me to wear one of his customized Mito outfits whenever he got the chance. And today he finally subjected me to this humiliation. Kuh.
でもそう言いながら来てくれたってことは、ひょっとして気に入りました？
何がしらじらしく。私の手持ちの着替え全部洗濯桶に放り込んでおいて。
It's a good strat. And he even made sure to soak the clothes I'd taken off just before going into the bath. Given that I couldn't very well walk around naked after getting out of the bath, so it was only reluctantly and with heartfelt grief that I put this thing on.
聞いてますかリク。
いやー、苦節10年 羽生が巫女服を着てくれました。これを喜ばずして何を祝いましょうや。
泣くな。来たんじゃなくて着せられたんだ。
Hey, that's still putting it on.
だいたいあなたと知り合ってまだ2年しか経っていないのに何が苦節10年だ。
True.
一日先週の思いとでも申し上げましょうか。まあ
To dodge? I threw a punch at Ritu as he nonchalantly said that while shedding crocodile tears, only for him to dodge it. Damn it, not only is he elegant, his intuition's been getting sharper recently.
いい加減にしてください。いい年をして巫女服と違法の私が言うのもなんですが、あなたには神に仕える神主としての自覚はあるのですか？
But the gods you, so it's just kind of weird.
もちろんです。私はこのフルデ神社を守っていく家系に生まれたことに誇りと畏敬の念を持って日々過ごしております。この村を襲っていた鬼の怒りを鎮め、無念に命を落とした人の霊を慰めることが私の役割です。
What he was saying was respectable, but I just couldn't take it at face value given the situation.
とはいえ、最近は鬼の襲来もぱったりとさたやみ、穏やかなものです。ですから、神に仕える者としては、いかに真意を厳かに敬い、人々の信心を堅固に保っていくかを考えるべきだと、思案にくれる昨今であります。
それと、この巫女服改造とどういう関係があるのです？
Realizing that a most unpleasant turn of events was approaching, I frantically covered my mouth. But it was too late. Ritu's eyes shined vividly as he'd been waiting for that, then grabbed both my shoulders and pressed near. Crap! As Ritu's Miko Heaven Love Fraud reality marble began like always? Another Fate reference. Actually, was there a Fate reference before? There might have been. You know he likes Nasu's work.
いいですか？巫女とは神に仕える者というだけに清廉潔白を尊しとされる汚れなき乙女のことを言います。その象徴たる赤と白の完全調和はまさに天の道を行き、すべてを司る崇高さが具現化されたもの。リク？しかるに、それだけは画量に転生を欠いた無機質な価値でしかない。されば、それに血肉を通わせ、荒人神のごとく人々に生きた生命をことほぐには、中の人の美こそが重要。そして、その欠けたるかけらを埋め合わせる要素がつまり、乙女が生来に備える美を万民に理解できる範疇で解くこと。その部位こそがすなわち。
This is why he's a word sorcerer. Very teachy like speech.
二の腕。そして、うなじのくびれ。それを余すことなく描き出すことこそ本体なのです。
あなた、スケベを無理やり神々しいものに痴漢しようとしていませんか？
The answer is yes, Hanyu.
いいな。それは違う。違いすぎます。
Sure, buddy.
そのように、ただ気の強い女性をツンデレと一括りにする無学猛邁な輩のような考え方では、人の革新など起こり得ないのです。
I don't really know the dairy types, to be honest. I know there's a lot more than Sundari and Yandere, which are what most people know.
美学に基づく観点を卑しくもわいせつなものとして捉える発想はまさしく恥であり、愚劣というもの。大体巫女にそのようなよこしまな感情を抱く者は男じゃない。いや、人間ですらない。けだものだ。
私にはそういうあなたがけだものに見えます。
Actually, he completely ignored my statements. Finally, I got fed up with that lengthy, no, endless enumeration of unintelligible words that my language skills couldn't keep up with, so I spoke up in a strong tone of voice.
つまりリク、端的にあなたは何が言いたいのですか？
巫女服万歳
Jesus.
結局それか
Boom.
アゴホ
I twisted my hips and punched from a sunken position at point blank range. Naturally, Riku was unable to react to a serious, full powered punch of mine and let out a delightful scream as he was blown away, drawing an amusingly beautiful whirlwind as he did. And he's out. We're actually gonna stop right here because it's pretty early on into this new chapter, so hopefully we can get a nice reset in our next session. And it'll be like a decently long episode too from it. So thank you guys for watching. Happy that Hanyu survived. And yeah, they're living together officially. 2 years strong. So it's pretty good. We'll see what happens next time with some more Hanyu arc.